Hello, and welcome back to History's Horrible Punishments. Today we are going to be having a look at one of the most gruesome and painful punishments from history, the blood eagle, an ancient execution method brought to us by the Vikings. So, what is the blood eagle? Well, it involved a lot of blood, and the end result somewhat resembles an eagle. Before we get into the gory details, you may want to put down any snacks you are munching on, as this punishment would make even Jigsaw feel a ting of pride. The victim would be placed in a prone position. Their ribs would then be severed from their spine with a sharp tool, with their lungs then pulled through the opening to create a kind of DIY set of wings. I know, pretty brutal. I'm sure quite a few of you will be somewhat familiar of the blood eagle from the horrific yet enthralling scene in the hit TV show Vikings. But what evidence is there of the blood eagle being used in real life? Well, luckily for us, the Vikings loved to write stories of what was going on around them. These stories are called sagas. There are many sagas from Viking times, and they are one of the primary resources that help historians piece together the history and the lives of the Vikings. The blood eagle appears in two Viking sagas. Firstly, let's take a look at the Heimskringla, written by Snorri Sturluson, an Icelandic historian, poet, and politician. The Heimskringla is a history of the Norse kings and one of the most famous sagas from Viking times. In this saga, there is an account of the execution of Halfdan Longleg. Here is a quote from the saga. Afterwards, Earl Einar went up to Halfdan and cut the blood eagle on his back, in this fashion that he thrust his sword into his chest by the backbone and severed all the ribs down to the loins, and then pulled out the lungs, and that was Halfdan's death. I know, it is chilling to hear. Another example from a Viking saga of the blood eagle being used in action comes from the saga, The Tale of Ragnars Sons. In this story, Ivar the Boneless has captured Aella of Northumbria, the man who killed Ivar's father, Ragnar Lodbrok, and has sentenced him to die. Here is a quote from the story describing the execution. They caused the bloody eagle to be carved on the back of Aella, and they cut away all of the ribs from the spine, and they ripped out his lungs. Unfortunately for all you gore fans out there, outside of the sagas there is no real evidence for the blood eagle's existence. The sagas are truly a rich pool of information about the history of the Vikings, but the fact remains that they are just stories written by men who, like all humans, are prone to exaggeration. For this reason, it is disputed whether the blood eagle was real or just a metaphor for the brutality of Viking life. A lot of history is lost to the sands of time, therefore, whether the blood eagle was really used or not is a debate that we will never really reach a conclusion on. What we can say for sure is that we are very lucky to be born in a time where the possibility of someone being sentenced to death by blood eagle is pretty darn low. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more interesting tales from history.